next guests are married both on TV and in real life, too. On Monday, they wake up very early to host their annual Post-Academy Awards Spectacular. Watch Live with Kelly and Mark after the Oscars from the Dolby Theater. Say hello to Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos. Did you color coordinate, or was this a coincidence?
We realized backstage that we look like two magicians.
Oh, yeah.
But then we realized we also look like Lionel Richie when we came out. Like, we all got the memo to wear elegant, sleek black tonight.
Well, you are here for the Oscars. I mean, it is a time to get dressed up and go to the parties and do all that stuff. And I want to talk about that in a minute. But I want to ask you, well, first of all, how long has it been now that you, Mark, you've been the official co-host?
It's almost 2 years. Next month will be 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just as your therapist, how is it going? Like, is it affecting you positively, your relationship
We need
personally?
2 couches. We actually need 2 couches to lay down. I think it's been great. I mean, we don't really talk about work at home.
Ever.
Ever.
Never.
No, because we're there.
Right, okay.
So we don't have to fill each other in.
Gotcha.
We already know and what happened and how bad or good it was. And it's never really that bad or good.
You usually find yourself kind of in the middle, right?
Yeah, and when we do talk about it, we often forget who was on the show that day. Like, somebody will ask us if we're having dinner, who'd you have on that day? And we're like, I don't know.
The same thing.
I do the same thing,
You
right?
won't
It's
remember
amnesia.
any of this by tonight.
I know, it's terrible. Really, it's embarrassing. You go out to dinner and people are like, who was on tonight? You're like, hold on a second.
You guys think we're kidding? We're not kidding. And you try it, and it's like, I don't know what it is. It's like amnesia. It allows you to continue on with the rest of your career doing this.
It's a good thing we aren't doctors.
Oh, my gosh.
Is the message here.
We would be the worst doctors.
So last week, you guys, and this is the reason I asked this question, because you guys on Wednesday of last week had a moment that I think is among the great television moments. And
we did?
Yes, you did. And I would like to share that with the audience.
Okay.
Like she got this burst of energy, maybe. Why are you looking at me?
No, I'm just think it's a cool concept.
I think you just drifted off and started thinking about me. Because I've been married to you long enough to know when you're not listening to me and you are thinking about, you've moved on, and I'm trying to think about what it is you could possibly be thinking about.
I was thinking about what I forgot to order lunch later on. I was like, I should have gotten the chicken breast and not the salmon.
Do you understand that I know him so well that I was like, he's not even listening?
Happens a lot.
I did.
Yeah, it actually happens a lot more than you think.
That's
as a
great.
husband, sometimes you wait for those cue words like police, help. And I was just having a moment. I was literally thinking about lunch.
Is this something that happens at home a lot, too?
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, that moment at home is 99% of the conversation.
Right. But when it spills over onto the air, perhaps you have a problem.
That's where I draw the line. I'm like, at least pretend you're paying attention to me on air. From 9 until 10. It's not that hard.
Sometimes I take a little nap. I just take a little nap during the show.
He'll say to me, I just zoned out. And I'm like, yeah, no.
I really like that. You should do that more times, I think. I think it just should become a regular thing.
I'm sure it's going to happen.
Monday morning.
Monday morning has got to be. Can I just say? No, I've seen you guys do this. I've been on this show with you many, many times. It seems like an absolute nightmare. You have to stay up so late at the Oscars, and then you get up so early, and you are crammed backstage.
It is
This.
wild.
Describe what it looks like backstage.
Picture Jimmy's desk cut in half, and then picture 8 people standing there trying to interview Jennifer Lopez. It is wild.
And they have just won an Oscar. So they're not there either. They're somewhere else.
Yeah, they're where you were on the clip
Exactly.
Last week.
Yeah. And so And it's like you bought like the smallest booth at a trade show. Like
We are
it's
the
like
smallest booth.
You're
We are-
jammed into a
yes.
little.
The saddest
We're
booth
the
at a trade
saddest
show.
booth at a trade show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yet we are the first people make eye contact with after they've won an Academy Award. So they are sort of trapped there. They're stuck there. We do have tequila backstage, so it makes it less
That's good.
problematic
Yeah.
for people to talk to us. They're
Right.
like, okay, if I can get a bottle of tequila, we will talk to you.
Guillermo just woke up, by the way.
See how I
tequila.
resuscitate men all over.
You're obviously at the Oscars. Can you see the show? Can you hear what's going
No,
on?
there's like it's like the worst place to see the Oscars. They've got like a small, really old flat screen TV, and the volume's low because they can't if it's too
We're
loud.
too close to the stage,
Still over, yeah.
so we can't have volume. And then, like Mark said, the monitor is about the size of like your average, like a kitchen television.
Yeah, it's a tiny little television
Yeah.
you're watching.
And
yeah.
then a bunch of executives are standing in front of it, so we're trying to sort of see beyond them to watch the show, and we miss everything. Do you remember the famous "You Were There" La La Land? We call it the La La Land moment of
Yes,
the
of
Academy
course.
Awards.
Yeah. So they screwed up the envelope. Yeah.
We knew before everyone else that something had gone horribly wrong. We didn't know what.
You did?
We just saw people running, screaming into headsets, and running backstage. And we started packing up because I was like, guys, whatever's going on right now, we need to evacuate this building.
Really?
Yeah.
It was that intense.
It was intense.
How did it go for you? Was it?
It wasn't that intense
No?
for me. I just kind of wandered up on stage and said, well, something's wrong here.
Yeah. No, it was wild backstage.
Really?
Yes, there was wild, frantic behavior.
I didn't know that.
Oh, my God. You miss all the excitement because, let me say, you must feel so relieved that you don't have to host on Sunday.
I mean,
Yeah.
of course. This is Conan's problem now.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel very...
I actually feel like you look younger.
I'm also realizing that when I came back, you're always so very nice, and you're just like, oh, what a great job you did hosting the show. I'm now realizing you didn't really see any of it.
No.
No.
We get to see your monologue.
Oh, you did that? You
We
saw
do.
it?
That's the only
monologue.
thing we get to see is your monologue. And then they sit us in the seat and
Okay.
we wait for their winner.
All right. Everything else is good. The kids are good. They're not in your house anymore, right?
No.
And that's
Adults.
good?
It's great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Do you keep their rooms precisely as they left them?
They're pretty much precisely how they left them. But I've been going around and using their bathrooms.
Why?
Well, because I paid for this. We paid for the house, and I've never sat there, so I wanted to sit there.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I, for one, am thankful.
And I like you.
Well, you get along so well.
That's
Well,
why
it's
we
great
love
to see you
It's
guys.
great to see
Good to
you.
see
We
you.
love you.
I would say have fun on Sunday, but I know you're not going to.
You know what you should do?
What?
You should come back and hang out with
Yeah,
us.
just come
so
hang
you
out?
can really feel the excitement of sitting there
And missing the whole show?
and missing the entire show.
You know what I'll do? I'm going to watch it at home, and I'll call you the next day.
Yeah, call me and let me know.
Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos live with Kelly and Mark after the Oscars Monday morning. We'll be back with Aloe Black. Oh my God, I can't believe it. We have 20 million subscribers on YouTube.
Unbelievable.
I only wish we got paid for this. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Help us get to 50 million, please. It's an emergency.